Hello, I'm Carmen Cummings, and I am pleased to join you today from the home of a very esteemed gentleman in our community. He is known fondly as the founding father of the world-renowned Florida A&M University Marching Band. He is none other than Dr. William P. Foster. Dr. Foster, thanks so much for being with us today.
It's certainly my pleasure to be here.
I must say, you look wonderful. Yeah, age tries to chase you, but it never catches up with you, Dr. Foster.
Well, that's understandable.
Dr. Foster, there's so much that we need to cover, so much territory that we need to cover. But this is an awesome event that is going to salute your many accomplishments. When you look back at the many accolades, you're always a humbled person whenever I've had an opportunity to share with you. But is it even more humbling as the years go by when you consider everything that you've done?
Oh, without a question or doubt.
What are your fondest memories as you've had the opportunity now to reflect in your so-called retirement? I don't know if you're ever going to retire, but what do you think about during the days when you're lounging in your home here near the campus? When you hear the band in the distance practicing, what do you think about?
Well, I think about the very beginning, which started June 1, 1946, when
Wow.
I arrived with my family in Tallahassee, Florida, from Tuskegee Institute. And it's quite an awesome feeling when you look back and try to recall and remember. But it is most pleasant.
I can imagine. So when you moved here from Tuskegee, your mission was then to organize the FAMU Marching 100. What was it in your mind that it should be known as the FAMU Marching 100, or were other names being brainstormed at the time?
No, that came up just as we began to move along with rehearsals. And we had such fine success after my first year that I wanted to have more members in the band. And we began to get calls from students who wanted to play in the band. And that's the way the increase in size of the band happened. It was all by, I would say, incident that we were able to increase the size of the band. And I had in mind that it would be a wonderful thing if we had a 100-piece marching band at Florida A&M College.
And it's proved successful for you too. Dr. Foster, the band, as I said, world-renowned, Florida A&M University Marching 100 as we know it. But it's exciting, it's invigorating, it's titillating. Some people aren't even connoisseurs of football, but they will come just to enjoy the band experience. When was it that you realized that a dancing band was the thing that was just going to sort of like be the shot of excitement that the aura of black college football needed? When was it? When did it hit you that we needed to let this band dance and people enjoyed that?
Well, it really started beginning in 1946.
Really?
I had just had the idea of doing something different and bringing some excitement and something relevant to the people, and something that they would enjoy in terms of the music, the movement, and the choreography. And therefore it was just by incident, I would say, that we were able to develop the dance steps. The first dance steps were really very simple. They were merely crossover and single steps and movements up and down and crosswise. And then we began to stimulate from the dances of the time.
So what dances at the time are we talking about, and some of the music, if you can recall?
Well, I'll tell you what, the first dance routine was to the tune of Alexander's Ragtime Band. So you know that's what, that was a very simple movement in terms of probably a two-step. And it was very simple. very easy to do, and nothing complex about it, nothing compared to the dance steps that we do today.
Of course. What was the reception then from the crowd? Do you recall when you debuted the dance routine to the home crowd?
Oh, it was just outstanding. They were knocked off their feet. And every time that we performed the dance routine, especially in other cities, they were just astounded that a band could dance and play and perform as we did.
What about your own perception? Were you surprised that the band was able to acclimate so well to the new routine, and was it well received by some of the members at that time?
Yes, I was quite surprised because these were innovations that were new. They had never been done
That's
before.
Right.
And therefore, I had no idea whether it was going to be successful or not. And I had no idea that what the response would be. And again, though, the point that we tried to emphasize, we wanted something to be relevant, that people could sort of have an affinity for.
Now, over the years, the HBCU college football experience is just second to none. We see that sweeping through historically black colleges and institutions across the nation now. Every band that we see on the gridiron is doing a dance routine. But a lot of people believe that Florida A&M set that precedent with those routines. What was the reception when you went to other colleges, Southern, Hampton, Howard, and places like that? Were they doing this simultaneously?
No, this was brand new. This was just an innovation that was took the audience by storm.
I can imagine.
And I don't know, it was just sensational. So we were on the road to success with something very new, something very different, and something that people would be able to relate to.
Dr. Foster, your success has garnered you attention not only nationwide, but worldwide. If you can remember when you had your crossover experience, when the road that you traveled not only led to other black colleges and universities, but when our teams started to compete against white schools and various divisions in the football experience, when you performed at white schools, what kind of reception was that at that particular time? Because a lot of their precision drills at a number of the well-known white conference football institutions, their precisions are not, well, actually, they're no comparison to what the FAMU Marching 100 does on the gridiron. What was that like when you performed before that audience?
Well, I could say just one word: sensational. It just was a rousing success, and the elation and the applause and the cheers were just outstanding.
Wow. Were you surprised
I
that the
certainly
white
was.
college audience would receive you so well?
Yes, because I didn't know exactly how they would receive
I can
us.
imagine so.
And but it was a pleasant surprise.
Were there critics early in the game who didn't quite understand what you were trying to convey? Because as we've learned throughout the course of history, there are some institutions that didn't receive gospel music choirs on their campuses. So the fact that you've got a dancing band with the pelvis moving this way and that way out there, along with their routines, may not have been as well received by some. So how did you deflect the critics?
Well, I really didn't really understand what they were thinking about, because the thing that we were mostly concerned with is we were trying to do things that were relevant to the times in which we were. In other words, the music, the movement, the choreography, everything that had to do with the band performance. And this was just a new development. And they just had to get used to it because this is what was going on in the world.